Testing, testing. Okay, guys, look, today we have my client here, Ben, man, and this is what we're gonna do on my client. Let me show y'all. So, I mean, he has a nice, full, heavy head of hair, right? So we're pretty much gonna give it a nice trim, so he can kind of keep the same flow. He kind of keeps it like in the side part, but we're gonna complement the shape of his haircut with a nice little drop fade there. So if you guys are interested in this tutorial, definitely look along, and we're gonna be using the Tune 45 clipper set. We got the trimmer, we got the clipper. Yeah, so if you want to get those, that link is going to be in the bio. Let's get into this tutorial. So yeah, guys, let's make sure here that we go ahead and do a nice thorough saturation of the hair. You know, there's going to be a lot of hair that we got to work with here, so let's just make sure that we get it fully saturated, so that way we can do the proper partings. I'm going to show you guys how I like to approach that. And yeah, man, then we can pretty much set a plan, right? If we thoroughly saturate the hair, if we section everything the way that we need to, we can just set a plan that makes it a lot easier for us to cut. So since he does wear this here in a side part, you know, I can see some of these hairs right here start to kind of bounce down, right? So I can follow along there to create this side part. And then you always want to take into consideration growth patterns. So, you know, I want to look for his crown back here. You can see here right around this point, that's kind of where it starts to spin out from, right? So we can use that, try to connect this side part here to the crown here in the back. And then from there, comb this thing down. All right, let's make sure everything is in the right place. Okay, so I think one of the easiest ways to go about this type of haircut here, now he wants to have nice flow on the sides that lay down into a nice drop fade. So let's go ahead and set this foundational work here first. So turn your head this way a little bit. I'm gonna comb this hair out here. I know it's gonna flow into the side. Now, this may not be the textbook way to do it, but honestly, it's been working for me for years, right? So I'm gonna pinch this. We're gonna cut this hair straight up. And I'm gonna take this all the way around. Now remember, I'm pinching it tight to the head at the bottom because this is where my drop fade is gonna go. I need my clipper to flow into that. So let's keep on going. Tight at the bottom, pull it out towards the top. Tight at the bottom, pull it out towards the top. Put your head down just a little bit. Tight at the bottom. And you kind of see that guideline up at the very top, right? All right, guys, see y'all? See y'all? Now let's keep taking this all the way around, okay? So for me, this kind of like sets the foundation, right? This kind of sets the foundation of the shape of the haircut that I want. It takes care of a lot of the layering already that I know I'm gonna want. You know, you can kind of already see it's like sitting there in the shape that I want. So let's continue to take this around. Fingers tight there at the bottom. And of course, the other thing too is, guys, you don't need a ridiculously long pair of shears like what I've got here, man. Like, it's probably gonna be easier too if you guys were to, you know, use like a more typical pair of barber shears, you know, a 6-inch, a 6.5 inch, something more universal. I've just gotten so used to using these that I feel like they help me cover a lot of ground when I need to. Someone in the last video was asking me what kind of shears I use. So these are fresh shears, man. These are fresh shears. They're of the 8-inch variation. Honestly, they're not even gonna be sold as like barber shears. They're gonna be sold as like grooming shears. But I don't know, man. I found a way to make them work for me. I've been using long shears like this for years. So that took care of a lot of the debulking process on the side, and we're gonna come back and refine it. But now, look, we got the hair combed out nice on the side, right? And we can see these rows that are being created since the hair is still fully saturated. So let's use those rows now. Tilt your head back for me, Ben, right there. So if we pick up a few rows of hair here, I'm gonna bring it straight up. And now you see the slope right here? That's the blending that's happening on the side. So now we can pick a point where we square this off, depending on where your client wants this trim. Okay, so that's those first couple rows, and I'm gonna pick up a couple more rows of hair. Right? Trim it there, and we're gonna do this process all the way back. Okay, right here. A couple more rows of hair. Now look, if you hold this hair down, you can see where the previous row was cut at. So you can always make that reference. But yeah, let's go ahead and keep on taking this back here. Here, I'm gonna use the reference of the rows of hair that are in front of that. Connect this here. As we do this process, y'all, we're gonna continue combing everything into place. I wanna make sure, cross-check around here too, make sure that everything has been covered. So I'm gonna pull some more hair out. You know, see a short point and a short point. I'll slice through that. You see, like, this is kind of the point where I'm talking about it can cover a lot of ground for me. You know, I found my short point, take care of that in one swipe. Anything here. I found my short point for reference, one swipe. So that's just gonna let me make sure that everything here is in the place. The hair is laying down pretty nice. I think now what we're gonna do, I'm always thinking ahead, right, of what my next step is gonna be. I'm gonna start debulking some of this down here so we can start attacking that fade shape. Now, let's see here. So I think with this amount of bulk, only since I'm familiar with my client's hair already, I would feel confident going in with, you know, clipper over comb. I'm not super reliant on clipper over comb. But I like showing a little bit of variety, guys. Like, I know if I keep it tight at the bottom and elevate it on the way up, it can kind of almost create that softness of a blend, right? Where you can see light at the bottom. I'm not gonna do this with every single hair texture. Like, I know that it looks really cool how quickly it blends and stuff like that. I did. But it can work with the right hair textures. So look, let's keep on establishing this shape. Now, if you notice too, where I elevate up to, that's about the area that we were grabbing with our fingers to be able to shear, you know, to shear it down. So let's hit this right here. We'll be maintaining our shape. So now look, this is a little bit different than the typical steps that I do with most types of fades, right? Mainly because I'm working with this level of bulk. Here, I'm gonna get these bangs out the way so we can see this fade a little better. Let the hair go where it naturally wants to, man. Don't force it. So this is where I think it's important to remember that you have to memorize the process and not necessarily memorize the steps. So what do I mean about that? In most of my other videos, you'll see me doing this step here, for example, with a number 4 guard. Right after we set the foundational work with the shears, I'll clear with a 4. I didn't think that was the appropriate step to take with this hair texture, with this hairstyle. I thought that clipper over comb was going to be fine. It accomplished the same mission. Definitely accomplished the same mission. So, you know, you can use different tools to accomplish. You know, in some cuts too, where it's like a scissor length all the way around, where they don't want, clipper length at the bottom, I'll, you know, do scissor over comb to accomplish this area. So it just depends, you know. But either way, the first step in my process, I like to be work on that transition, right? Get it lower. So now that that's done, now I'm gonna go ahead and hit this at the very bottom. Clipper all the way closed. Clipper all the way closed at the very bottom here. Following the similar shape of what we just did for debulking, right? Clipper all the way closed. And I like clipper closed. If you've seen my other videos, I like that because trimmer, a lot of people will put that bald line in with the trimmer, but it just punches it too hard for me. The trimmer just punches it way too hard for me. I'm definitely gonna wanna have the clipper close. It's a lot of a softer option. It's easier to fade out, and it makes the very last step of this haircutting process a little simpler. You know, we're gonna get that taken care of at the end here. So stay tuned till the end for that. Okay. So that is. Okay. Now let's take that half. I got the half guard. Lever close. And we're just gonna give ourselves some space to get this blend. This space has to be, this space definitely has to be spread out. I don't wanna have this bottom part of the fade compress. So yeah, guys, we're just gonna keep on rocking here with this half guard all the way closed. And then, like I was saying, you know, this is the bottom part of the fade that I like to spread out the most. That's why I'm not doing a very compressed line here with this half. If this part of the fade is spread, then you're gonna have ultimate blur, I feel like, because if you compress this bottom part of the fade, and it's gonna be a lot more. It's definitely gonna be a lot more looking like a bowl cut, you know, when he walks away, and that's the opposite of what we're trying to accomplish. So look, this panel here with this half guard is pretty much already established. Now I'm gonna work on taking this line out. Okay, so this is the half guard closed, so I'm gonna remove that half guard. And now I'll be working with clipper open. I'm not going all the way up. I'm not going all the way up to match, you know, that line that I put in with the half. I'm working just a little bit below it, because my goal right now is not to set in a new line. My goal is pretty much just to soften up and start working my way down here to match this clipper close. So I'm gonna take this all the way around here. All the way around here. We are here with this no guard with the lever open. Cool, so I did everything that I could with this all the way open. Let me go 2 notches down. So I'll be about halfway, almost closed here at the very bottom. And same thing, now at this point, I'm not going all the way up to where I did with the clipper all the way open. Now I'm just going a little bit lower than I was with that before, right? So every single time that I lower this lever, I close this lever a little bit more. Every single time I'm gonna be working my way a little bit lower every time too. So look, this is lever halfway right here. I'm pretty sure I tried cut trends here a while ago too, man, and it pretty much, I think we had like a super fire clip, but I forgot to hit record in the beginning. I remember something like that. All right, guys, here we go. So now look, we're gonna go 1 more notch. And again, I'm just working my way incrementally lower and lower. And just chipping away at it, man. Like if you notice, every time that we make a movement like this, I'm not looking for a huge difference each stroke. We're just like softly working our way down. We're softly working our way down because we want a nice buttery transition. Real soft transition. Something that's going to make it easier for you guys too, you know, and it's part of the reason why I have a bristle brush in my hand right now. If you find that there's a lot of hair that's already cut, it's like already cut, just sitting there in the fade area, you know, brush it out. Now I'm here all the way close. So now that I returned all the way close here, this should be real nice and easy to be able to take out, because I'm matching what I put the initial line in with, right? They always say the line, whatever you use to put the line in with, that's what you should be using to take it out with. So since I started this first line with the clipper all the way closed, I returned my way down to clipper all the way closed. I'm using a lot more corner work now, right? Because I'm not trying to set a new line, I'm just trying to break through and erase it. Erase that line that we went ahead and put in. But it's mad easy because I put it in with the clipper all the way closed. So now we're almost done here blurring out this line, right? What is going to be the next step that we take to start working our way down? I think now at this point we can go ahead and take that 1.5 guard with the lever open, right? And we could float it all the way up into the bulk. Let's test that out right here and see how that works. Because typically I would do the 4, but we already clipper over comb to establish the shape. So let's try to stick to that 1.5. So here we are. Right now we've got this 1.5 guard. Okay, so let's go ahead and work here now with this 1.5 guard. I've got the lever open. Pressure at the bottom, and I'm gonna try to float my way up. Now, if you see this step and this intimidates you, 100%, you definitely should go ahead and grab your 4 guard, your 3 guard. You know, use a bigger guard, do this step, and then slowly work your way down. You might want to start off with a 6. Do this with a 6 first, and then a 5, and then a 4, and then a 3, and then a 2, and then a 1.5. That's okay. I think it's just a more, you know, I want to show you guys what the goal should be, or at least what my goal is whenever I cut hair. It's not only efficiency, but I feel like blending in these guards together really just helps bring the whole looks together organically. So I think that 1.5 open is giving it a real nice shape. I'm gonna close the lever now and just reduce that length just a little bit below that. Because remember, now we're working on taking this line out. So here we go, 1.5 open and 1.5 closed is already done. Let's go ahead and start taking care of the rest of it. Remember, we're trying to achieve balance too. 1.5 open. Now, you know, fading, the thing is too, guys, just like in the beginning, right? Remember I said, memorize the process, not necessarily the steps. The guards, for example, right? So fading essentially is you're just playing with colors, right? I've got a really solid dark brown at the very top of this fade, and at the bottom of this fade, I have a very light, very light color. So using these guards, I'm using this 1.5 right now because when it's open, I feel like it leaves it dark enough that I could work on this transition like this, right? Got 1.5 open. With the right pressure, I feel like it leaves it just dark enough to kind of float in that middle. This is that shading guard. This is that shading guard for me. So look, there's a 1.5 open. Which is why I say it's totally okay to go 5, 4, 3, 2 if you need to. Because that's going to do the same effect, but just like slower, less at a time. Less hair at a time. So that was my shading guard, right? My 1.5 open. Now, the 1.5 closed is just going to continue removing a little bit more darkness, right? I feel like barbering is almost like creating art with an eraser. I think my mom sent me that quote one time. Barbering, art. I forgot what the exact quote was, but it's like creating art with an eraser. I don't know if any of you guys ever had like those charcoal papers. It was like some sort of charcoal paper, and the art that you would create was with like a little scraper pen. I remember that. I'm gonna try something, guys. I'm gonna skip the 1. I'm gonna skip the 1 and I'm gonna go straight to the half here. Because this T45 Babyliss clipper definitely has a bit of a stretch to it. So, you know, clippers that have a stretch, if they're supposed to open up to a 1, you know, they definitely have a reputation for being able to skip guards, right? So, let's see how this does. Half guard open. I'm just using some cornering to see if I can work my way up into the 1.5. And again, if you're not comfortable with this, it's cool. Just, you know, use the 1. Use the 1 open, use the 1 close. Then go down to the 1 open, 1 close. I don't want you guys to memorize my steps. I want you to memorize my process. Fade the bottom. I'm sorry, actually first is debo, so you can see what you're working with. fade the bottom, and then do what's necessary to slowly merge that debulking into that bottom fade. And guys, too, we're coming right back now from the Education with Purpose event. This is our second EWP show that we do out here in Tampa, Florida, man. It was so dope, man. We even had a guest appearance at the end of it with Vic Lenz, who came through and shared some of his story, man. And you know, he actually came through for the first one too. So he's always been a huge supporter of the 245. It was so cool, man. You know, drop a comment down below if you guys did see me at the sales booth. If you attended the event at all, man, definitely let me know. It was great. I can't wait till we do the next one. Like the first one that we did was way back in 2018, and we were supposed to follow up the next year. COVID shut down the gatherings, right? And man, we had a sold out event. And then, you know, obviously we started working on this Clipper project too, right? So now we're looking at, well, let's see. The turnout was great. Let's see if we can make this an annual thing. Guys, y'all see how buttery this half guard open is blending into the 1.5? Like, this is crazy. I know there was a lot of comments of people like really hating heavy on this half guard, but I don't know, man. I feel like I kind of just wanted to come strong with it today and show you guys, like, this half guard is the real deal. You know, obviously people have different cutting styles. You know, obviously this is a mostly fading down technique, so maybe that's why it works good for me. But leave me your comments down below, man. Let me know if it worked well for you. Because obviously that's why there's so many different products on the market. Different people have different styles, man, but I don't know. I haven't had to reach for anything. The gamma guards, the wall guards, the old school Babylist guards, I haven't had to reach for anything yet. Well, maybe it is just me too, because like I used to be a big fan of the Andis purple guard. So to have that sharp teeth, you know, I think that definitely is a benefit for me personally. So look now, guys, at this point, pretty much wrapping up. Like now it's just a matter of detailing. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go through here with my comb, and I'm gonna make sure that no hairs were missed. I want to smoothen the transition just a tiny little bit more. Still keep the shape of the drop fade, the low fade. And then you remember how I was telling you guys the best way to take a line out is use the tool that you use to put it in. In this case, we set this line in here. This debulking with the clipper over comb. So guess what I'm gonna use to take it out? Okay. So now let's go ahead and take a little bit of time to detail his edge and then bald out the bottom of his fade. So I want you guys to see here, you don't have to necessarily push hair back, right? You want to pay attention to where the hair grows, right? Especially like here for this corner, and then just complement it. Rock it down a little bit. These trimmers hit, man. I definitely adjusted them now. They are adjusted to where I can still use them on the neck. I could still use them on the corner. I probably used them for like a full 2 weeks straight out of the box without making any adjustments to them. And they were really good, but to kind of get them that effect, you know, like the gold FX, for example, I definitely had to bring them in a little bit more. There's that perfect, man. Shoot, Beam was setting the trimmers at the show. That was crazy. Or at least before the show. All right, here, so look, guys. We got this here. This is why we fade how we do. I started with the clipper all the way closed. So that way at the very end, I could come in here nice and easy using my trimmer, and it'll just float perfectly up until this clipper closes all the way. Same thing here on this side. And his fade is coming out crazy. Ben, I need to cut your hair for YouTube more often, bro. That's crazy. Look, so just take the corner right there where it naturally sits. Complement this curve coming in right there. All right, guys, so pretty much what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go ahead and just line up his beard, blow dry the hair, get it all into place, and I'm gonna show you guys right here a couple finished clips. But yeah, man, actually, no, we're gonna have to foil shape the very bottom of this fade too. But man, if you guys enjoyed this though, let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know what you think about how this clipper and trimmer performed. I didn't notice. I mean, I've been using them for like 3-4 weeks already because I got the influencer box early. I didn't notice any snagging, bro. No snagging. The clipper is definitely more than powerful enough. Lately, also, I've been kind of using the clipper high speed for debulking, and then I'll slow down and use the low speed for, what do you call it, for detailing and for fading. But in this case, I ended up just using it full speed the whole time, you know, so it's definitely a super versatile clipper. Yeah, bro. All right, here, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys those finishing clips. You know, sorry guys, I just want to tune in here real quick that I wanted to show you guys what this trimmer is doing for the beard, because a lot of trimmers, of course, that we've all used in the past will snag on the neck. But, you know, I just wanted to show you guys that, like, this thing hits, man. It doesn't, I haven't had a snagging issue yet. I just wanted to share this clip real quick with you guys. I thought a lot of you guys would appreciate it. You know, that right there could be a very dangerous area moving too quick, you know, with other trimmers, man. But yeah, that's all I wanted to show you guys. Okay, now cue the finishing clips.